Delivering lecture or speech is one of our profession. Teacher always gives lectures. And to the public audience, there is a speech given. So a speech refers to formal or informal talk given to an audience. There is an audience. When you are giving a lecture, when you are delivering a speech, there is an audience. Many people listening to you. You are addressing a group of people, many people, and you are sharing your opinion, your thoughts. That is speech. That is speech. Now, there are two things in speech. First thing is what you say, that is your content. And second, how you say that content, the delivery. What happens? Many people have great content, but they can't deliver. Many people have great way of delivering, but they don't have content. Teacher should have both. Before we discuss about speech, I would like to give you brief information about different types of speech, which is very interesting. Now, if you learn about these types of speech, you will easily understand how to prepare for that speech and what to talk in that speech. This is very interesting types. First is that is informative speech. As the name suggests, you are informing the audience, giving information to the audience. You are educating them on a topic. For example, when you visit a zoo, the guide comes and the guide gives you information about the zoo. When you visit an historical building, any monument, there will be a guide when you travel. So the guide gives you informative speech. How this building came into existence, who were the people used to live, what is the historical background of this building or monument. So that is informative speech. Means the traveler or the guide gives generally informative speech. Teacher also many a time gives informative speech. When there is informative subject, teacher will deliver a lecture of informative speech format. Then there is entertaining speech. Now the name suggests the speech entertains people. The speech entertains the crowd. It is less formal, informal. You know, the funny, humorous speech given by the stand-up comedians, that is entertaining speech. It can be given at birthday party or wedding function. That is entertaining speech. The best example is the comedians. It is just for entertainment. Then there is demonstrative speech. Now, what is meaning of demonstration? We very well know. Demonstration is showing how something happens, how something is to be done. It is just about a topic. It is related to visual aids as well. How something is to be done. For example, when a mobile company launches its mobile, it will have a launching event and it will give a speech. Somebody will give a speech. How this mobile is, what are the features of the mobile, and how this mobile actually works. That is demonstrative speech. You are demonstrating something, how something works, especially technical. Then it is persuasive. Persuasive speech means you are explaining somebody. You are just trying to explain, convince somebody that your opinion is right. What you are saying is right. It is more serious. For example, a political speech is persuasive speech. Means you are trying to convince the people to give you the votes. A lawyer fighting in a court for his client is also persuasive speech. He is trying to persuade the judge that he is right. His client is very much innocent. That is persuasive speech. Then there is debate speech. You know, in America, every election, the presidential candidates have a public debate. That is called public debate speech, in which a debate is there and you are giving speech in the form of a debate. You are answering the questions. There are two sides. You have the time to answer. You have to listen to the views. You are justifying what you are saying. You are right or wrong. Others are wrong and you are right. You are justifying that. That is called debate speech. There are certain rules. For example, in a TV debate, we can see some of the TV channels give limited time for arguments in the debate. That is debate speech. Each one has their turn in the debate. Then we have special occasion speech. Now, what is special occasion speech? The name suggests there is a special occasion. That's why there is a speech. It is spontaneous speech. For example, if there is a wedding, if there is an award function, if there is a birthday party, we ask you, when there is your birthday, we ask you in our prayer assembly to give the speech. That is special occasion speech. When you are receiving an award, we have found many people giving their speech. That is special occasion speech. Then we have pitch speech. Pitch speech is try to get support or approval of an idea, of a product, of a solution. For example, if you are a salesperson, if you have seen the movie Rocket Singh, you may try to sell a product to a consumer and you are trying to convince him. You are pitching the product to them by telling them it is the best of quality, it is the best product, it will benefit to you. So that is pitch speech. There are many examples of that. Then we have motivational speech. It's the biggest name, that is Vivek Bindra. You have seen the motivational videos. There are millions of motivational videos online. That is motivational speech. What is the main aim of the speech? It to inspire the audience, to give you the confidence to live, to improve yourself, to make you better, lift the spirit of the audience, lift the self-esteem. If you listen to such motivational speech, you really feel motivated. So there is farewell speech. Farewell means bye-bye speech. You are saying goodbye to a group of people. For example, in a student's life, you are saying goodbye. When you are getting retired, you are saying goodbye. That is farewell speech. When you are moving abroad, it can be a farewell speech. You are fully emotional. Then explanatory speech. It is almost like persuasive speech. You are explaining the situation, how this thing has happened. You are giving detailed step-by-step process. Right? Almost similar to demonstrative or persuasive speech. First and foremost step and tip is that you should analyze your audience. To whom are you going to speak? Who is your audience? Find out information about your audience. Means, what is the age of the audience? What is the interest of the audience? Is the speech going to be formal or will it be informal speech? How will be the setting? what will be the atmosphere what will be the time duration, how big will be the room, the hall, what will be the place of the program. So you should analyze all these things before preparing the speech. So that is the level of your audience. You must know the level of your audience. If you are going to give a speech to adults, and if you are going to speech to school students, your level of speech will be different. Your level of examples will be different. So keep in mind the audience. Then, second thing, then you select the topic if you are given the chance to. Sometimes topics are already given to you. If you are given the topic and there is no issue, but if you are to select the topic, select the topic that interests you, you are interested in, because there are many fields of knowledge and there are many topics to talk about. But choose the topic that interests you. Choose a topic in which you are knowledgeable. You know something. You have at least some expertise, not full, but some expertise. At least you know something. I can talk about English. I cannot talk about maths. I cannot talk about science because it's not my expertise. Even I don't know. So choose a topic that interests you. You can find out and list out your topics. Then find out the words or phrases that you know related to the topics. Means find out some of the points related to the topic. For example, when you are writing an essay, some points are given in exam. These are the points exactly for giving a speech. Prepare points. There is a special way of delivering speech by Murari Bapu. He always finds an acronym. If he is going to talk about Shikshaka, he will think about three words related to Shi, Ksha, and Ka. So this is a method of making points. There are also method of making points by numbers. First number, second number, third number, fourth number. So you think about the topic, select the topic, and start finding the points. Then you need to gather information about the topic. You do not have all the information ready-made with you. You have to find out information. We have internet with us. We have many articles. We have newspapers. We have mobile with us. We can search for information. We have books. First, you should check your personal books if you have. If you have magazines at your home, you just check it. If there is any reference, any information given, any article is given, then you can consult with some experts or some organizations. If the subject is conversational, means discussion type, you always should take expert opinions, because there will be two sides of an issue. The pandemic of corona is going on. There are always two sides of a lockdown. There are two sides of lockdown. There are benefits of lockdown and there are problems being faced by people due to lockdown. So there are always two sides of a topic. So always find out the two sides. You should find out some quotations, some proverbs, some small stories, some of very important examples, some of the current examples, statistic, find out. Many of the speakers begin their speech with a stanza, with a poem, with a shairi. That is also one of the trick. You should find out such. Then You have found the information. Now you need to make outline of the speech. Main points by bullets. Give numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. You may give subdivisions by A, B, C, D, subheadings, minor headings. You should prepare an outline of the speech. Then it is time to write down the exact speech. Write the way you will talk. Write the body of actual speech. Begin with main points. Arrange them in logical order. If you are writing an essay, you should go logically, in sequence. You should also focus on writing introduction and also focus writing conclusion. You know that introduction will be very interesting, should be interesting and attentive. And conclusion should be enough that people find actual conclusion after your speech, the findings of your speech. People should get something from your speech, that is conclusion. What happens after listening to some speeches, we find that we couldn't get anything. Why? Because there was no conclusion given by the speaker. Then, before giving the actual speech, you should practice the speech at your home. Practice the speech if it is completed in the time limit. Many good speakers cross the time limits. And then what happens? The audience feel boredom. You can practice the speech before your classes, before your students, before your teachers, at your home, against the mirror, in a small auditorium, before a video camera. You can practice the speech. Then, how should be the introduction and how should be the conclusion? You should directly get attention of the audience. So how would you get attention of the audience? You can tell a joke. You know, many of the great speakers always begin their speech with a humorous comment. Always. If you have listened any of the great speakers, they will start their speech with humorous comment. They might even pound the speaker's stand with noise. They may make loud noise. They even may ask question. They may start telling a story. They may start with a quotation, with a personal reference by taking some names, by creating a suspense, by singing a song, by complimenting somebody. Right? So these are the tricks to start the speech. And how will you end the speech? It is said, all's well that ends well. That is what Shakespeare said. So ending is also important. The conclusion offers the speaker last opportunity to remind what has been said in the speech. Some of the audience might not have got the proper attention during the speech, but if they listen the conclusion, they will find that what has been said in the speech. You should summarize whatever you have said. You can be humorous, you can tell a story, but actually you should always summarize what you have said. These are the major two things, introduction and quotation, conclusion, which are very important in a speech. That's why I included separately. Then it's time to present the speech. Now you are delivering the actual speech. What will you start? You salute. You will start with salutation. Respected so and so and so. You will use your hands. You will use your body language. You will be active. You will stand upright. You will not slouch. You will not lean. You will stand upright. You will not take support of anything else. You should stand by your own. You should be humorous. Your dressing and your physical appearance should be good. Proper dress should be there. You should know where to stand. You can have your notes with you. You should also think about pose and stress and intonation. That's we talked about. I told you about head movements, proper eye contact to the audience. Maintain proper eye contact to the whole audience. Cover all the audience, don't miss anyone. You know, many of the speakers have the habit of looking at the one side only and giving the full speech. There are always two sides, the full side of the audience. You should always look at everyone. So now you have given the speech. Last thing you should think about is answering questions. You should always allow your audience to ask something. If they ask, then you should answer. You should reply. You should answer with confidence. If you don't know the answer, you say that I don't know the answer. If you have not understood even the question, you can say I didn't hear this. Pardon, you say repeat the question. Always give some time for questioning. So that is your speech. You have given the speech. Now it's time for you to evaluate. Was that good speech? Was that bad? What were the mistakes? What went right? What went wrong? What were the mistakes? If it was interesting or not, it was poor speech, excellent speech. How was that? You evaluate your speech.